Good morning and happy Easter. Did that get you ready to sing? Woohoo! Oh my gosh, we had dancers and everything. I feel like my blood is pumping and my heart is racing. All right, let's all stand together and celebrate in wonderful songs. They're in your bulletin, and just if you don't know the songs, just jump in as soon as you do. This is a friendly community, and we love to sing together. Here we go, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait, wait and see. Another day goes by, and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you
and me.
and me.
You
just wait
and see.
Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart.
Got to believe, yeah.
Oh, put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart.
Break it down. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. Put those hands together. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world
will be a better
place for you.
And me.
You just wait and see.
Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Put a little love in your heart.
Got to believe it.
Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Yeah. Put a little love in your heart. Woo. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Good morning.
Can we do this every day? This is so awesome. Let's just meet every Sunday, okay? Right here. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I choose love, love, love. I choose love, love, love. Love, love, love. I choose love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. And I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I choose peace, peace, peace. I choose peace, peace, peace. Oh, I choose peace, peace, peace. I choose peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I choose joy, joy, 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 joy.
To somebody. Happy Easter. I know, right? Happy Easter. I love your outfit. So cool. Happy Easter, my sweet. Oh. Yeah. You guys are going to rock it. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Uh-oh. Yeah. What do we got? Okay. That felt good, didn't it? Well, good morning, everyone, and happy Easter. Welcome to the Seal Beach Center for Spiritual Living. We are a spiritual community whose doors have been open for well over 50 years, inspiring and uplifting the spirit and the heart of humanity. We do that through recognizing the oneness in all people, in all of us, and the wholeness that is right here within us. We recognize that every one of us has inherent good, a divinity, a divine intelligence within us that enables us to continue to rise up. And that is what we'll be talking about this morning. That no matter what struggles have come our way, that no matter what kinds of death we experience in our life, actual physical death, the death of a relationship, the death of a false belief or an idea that we used to hold about ourselves, that no matter what, our spirit will continue to rise up. Yes. And so I just want to share some announcements with you before we get into the good stuff. But this is good stuff too. Let's see. This Wednesday evening at 6:30, we have Marianne Giblin sharing her inspirational experience of going to see John of God. And she's going to share that all with us this Wednesday at 6:30. That is sure to be amazing. We have our practitioner, Travis, and yes, he's one-word man, like Prince, Travis, and he will be showing a movie called The Science of Miracles, the quantum language of healing, peace, feeling, and belief. And that is going to be April 7th, Saturday, April 7th at 10:30 a.m. So if you're into the combination of science and spirituality and how they really are fundamentally interconnected, this is definitely a movie that you want to check out. Also, our next town hall meeting will be next Sunday, so you can get to know the goings-on of our community and get any questions that you have answered. I just wanted to say that I love you all. I won't see you again until the end of April to do the candidating, but you can see any of the candidates, including myself, on YouTube or Google or whatever. So I love you all, and I'll be in the office for the rest of the month. They got me locked up in the office, so... So now I just want to share with you all the people who have come together to create such a stellar service for you this morning. We have Stacy and Rock Robbins as our musical guest. We have the Seal Beach Spirit Singers led by Bill Wolf. Our beloved and sacred practitioner, Tom Hodges. And one of the leaders in our community, Jack Roberts, to recite our sacred covenant. Because spiritual practice is the fundamental basis of this philosophy, the going within and recognizing the oneness and the interconnectedness of life, I want us all to join together in a moment of spiritual practice, where we can go within, where we close our eyes, just take a deep breath. Leave all your worries right outside the door and just take this time to be. This is our time to feel the softness, the gentleness, the love of the divinity that is right here within us. Through this spiritual practice, I will invite Jack Roberts to recite our sacred covenant, and then we will hear our beautiful music, which will lead us into the meditation with Tom Hodges. So I invite Jack to support us now.
There is only one life. This life is good This life is God. This life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with the life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved Jewel by the Sea. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to glorify God, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of God as wholeness. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God, for it is written, "We see a world in which everyone lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle. All human endeavor is to find such an inward wholeness that all sense of fear, doubt, and uncertainty vanishes." As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister revealed before me as a wise and loving presence, God's consciousness in expression. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing this truth about myself. For I am inspired to live as love in the expression of wholeness. I am awakening the wisdom within me. I am applying the power of love through wisdom. I am connecting with, loving, and serving our local communities. I am creating an inclusive, loving environment for individuals and families and a thriving youth program. I am exploring the mystical teachings of different traditions. I am fostering an elevated music program that aligns with the message. As I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, I know that they are revealed in a way that will glorify God and serve the highest and greatest good for all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful. God is gracious, and so it is. Amen.
From the highest of heights to the depths of the sea, creation's revealing your majesty. From the colors of fall to the fragrance of spring, every creature unique in the song that it sings, all exclaiming, indescribable, uncontainable. You place the stars in the skies and you know them by name. This is amazing God, all powerful, untamable. Awestruck we fall to our knees as we humbly proclaim, this is amazing God. This is amazing God.
Enter and be not afraid. I have left the gate open, and thou art welcome to my home. There is room in my house for all. I have swept the hearth and lighted the fire. The room is warm and cheerful, and you will find comfort and rest within. The table is laid, and the fruits of life are spread before thee. The wine is here also. It sparkles in the light. I've set a chair for you where the sunbeams dance through the shade. Sit and rest and refresh your soul. Eat of the food and drink the wine. All is yours, and you are welcome. And you are absolutely welcome to this beautiful center that we call the Jewel by the Sea for this wonderful Easter service. It is no random happening that you are here today, for you're here by divine appointment. You're here because you're special. You're unique. You are an individualized expression of the divine being, a child of God. And as we enter the silence for a few moments, I invite you to contemplate these words that reverberate through this experience that we call life. Be still and know that I am God. Be still. Be. In continuing our service this morning, we're grateful for this beautiful choir that we have, the Spirit Singers. Grateful for the music of Rock and Stacy Robbins and Caleb and Seth earlier. We are truly blessed. So I invite you to affirm with me, and so it is.
Who has told every lightning bolt where it should go? Or seen heavenly storehouses laden with snow? Who imagined the sun and gave source to its light, yet conceals it to bring us the coolness of night? None can fathom, indescribable, uncontainable. You place the stars in the sky and you know them by name. This is amazing, God. All powerful, untamable, awestruck we fall to our knees as we humbly proclaim, this is amazing, God. This is amazing, God. This is amazing, God.
I got a pit in my stomach. I was like, what? Only at Seal Beach Center for Spiritual Living, you guys.
Was that the Easter dinosaur? Just checking. All right. Well, since we're in sort of a family mode, Steve, could you turn Rocky's monitor down voice down in my monitor? I love him so much for the last 30 years, but he's a little loud.
Every day is so wonderful, then suddenly it's hard to breathe. Now and then I get insecure from all the pain, feel so ashamed. I am beautiful no matter what they say. Words can't bring me down. I am beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can't bring me down. Oh no. So don't you bring me down today. To all your friends, you're delirious, so consumed in all your doom, trying hard to fill the emptiness. The pieces gone, left the puzzle undone, and that's the way it is. You are beautiful no matter what they say. Words can't bring you down. You are beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can't bring you down. Oh no. So don't you bring me down today. No matter what we do, no matter what we say, with a song inside the tune, full of beautiful mistakes. And everywhere we go, the sun will always shine. And tomorrow we might awake on the other side. 'Cause we are beautiful no matter what they say. Words won't bring us down. We are beautiful in every single way. Yes, words won't bring us down. Oh no. So don't you bring me down today. Don't you bring me down today. Yeah. Don't you bring me down today.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Rock. That was beautiful, wasn't it? I'm so happy to see you all. Oh, hi, Janelle. My son's best friend since kindergarten, his mom, so I know. So, I'd like to start this morning by sharing a story with you. A story about a regular, somewhat ordinary man who was bullied by his neighborhood friends, who was shamed by his own family, and was really looked down upon and demonized by the people in his faith community. And this person, he began to understand the purpose of life, to love deeply, to have compassion widespread, to forgive quickly and easily to all kinds of people. All kinds. And so the story goes like this. There lived a mortal of flesh and blood, a man, a human being, who so saw the goodness in the people around him that it was infectious. And he so felt his relationship to the divine that he would even say that it was within him and within all of us. And so this man, he was a rebel. He was a rebel with a cause. And his cause was so powerful that it scared the crap out of society. It terrified the status quo. And this cause was so powerful and so noble that it healed others just by the very thought of him. By just the very touch of his clothing healed people. And so this man walked for his cause. He stood up for cause, for first cause. He stood up for truth. He rose every time they tried to kick him down. And even when his best friends betrayed him and threw him up on a cross and nailed him in there and crucified him, man, he still rose up. He still rose up. And that is the message and that is the meaning of this most holiest of days. It is a reminder, it is a remembrance for every one of us that there is a spirit within us, that there is a divinity so holy and pure and true that we could never destroy it no matter how much we try, that no matter how many times we have to die off to that old way of being, to those old ideas, to that old relationship or job or experience that no longer serves us, there is a spirit inside of us that says, "Rise, my child, rise." Because that is what you were born to do. And so I just want to invite someone who I felt like had the most powerful story of crucifixion and resurrection that I can think of in my current experience. And so I want to invite Jack Roberts up to share his story with us.
Steve? Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Nicole. So my story begins in the early 1980s. I was a young man trying to navigate my way through the world. And there came a point in time when I lost my job. And I said, I'll get another job, no big deal. But that next job didn't come soon enough. And consequently, I lost my apartment and I suddenly found myself out on the streets, homeless. And I couldn't turn to family because I had left the church of my upbringing and I was being shunned by my family. I had a few friends, but I didn't want to tell my friends what had happened to me. I was too embarrassed. And I said, besides, you know what, I can figure this out. I'll get out of the situation and I'll be back on my feet soon enough and everything will be okay. But it didn't happen right away. In fact, it was 2 years before I could get back on my feet. And in the meantime, it was the most devastating experience that I had in my life. Over that period of time, there was a great deal of anger, of hurt, lost and confused, depression, and fear. I was scared. I had never been in a situation like this, and I didn't know how to handle it. And there were those days when I just felt I would just crack and lose my mind and just be out on the street, one of these guys with a shopping cart and a mangy dog yelling at passerby. And then there were those days when it was really dark and really painful, and I felt like I can't do this anymore. I felt like I'd rather just not go on living than to have to live another day. And it was in those days that Spirit would say to me, it's not time for you to go yet. You still have work to do. And I would say, okay, but when, where, how? Show me the way. Give me a sign. Give me a break. But that's all I would hear. It's not time yet. You have work to do. And so I kept pushing, and one day I did manage to get back on my feet. And so the resurrection for me began. But it was still a long process. Because during that period of time, my self-esteem was crushed. And I carried a lot of baggage with me for years, even decades. I had the baggage of low self-esteem. I had the baggage of pain and shame and regret. I had the baggage of fear and doubt and worry. I had the whole baggage cart. But also what came out of that resurrection was direction for my life. I now knew what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to make a difference in the lives of others. I knew that I wanted to help other people to have the tools that I didn't have, so that when they face circumstances that seemed bigger than they were, they'd be able to make it through those circumstances. Because often we bring those things upon ourselves. And so that's what I began to do. I set my course, my sight on first being a motivational speaker, and then a life coach, and then an author. And here today, I'm still doing all of that work along with being a spiritual teacher. But my resurrection continues day by day. I think about the words of Paul where he says, I die daily. And that's how I look at life. Every day is truly a blessing. But at the end of the day, I get to lay that day to rest. I get to start over again every morning. And my life is not perfect. It's not everything I always wanted it to be, but it's pretty darn good. And I'm pretty blessed. And every day when I wake up, I get to be a blessing all over again. Every day when I wake up, I get to be blessed all over again. Every single day, I rise. Peace and blessings.
Thank you so much, Jack. That was so powerful. And that's how it goes, right? That's how it goes. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the metaphysical meaning of Easter. What is the meaning beyond the physical, beyond the stories and the ideas? Because I'm just going to tell you, I cannot stand up here and say that I know for exact certainty that there was a crucifixion and a resurrection and a Jesus and the story all happened the way it said it did. I can't tell you that. But what I do know is that there is a message so deep and so powerful within this that it is so relevant to humanity no matter when or how it went down, okay? And so the metaphysical meaning of Easter is the awakening and the rising in spiritual consciousness to that level of the I am. It is the awakening and the rising in spiritual consciousness to the center of our being that says, I am. That is the power within us. And so this story of dying and rebirth and this resurrection and crucifixion, it came long before Jesus did, long before the pagans did. It came around 9,500 BCE, okay? This is primal living. And this was when agriculture was invented. So we created throughout humanity, throughout human consciousness, we have created religion and religious rituals in relationship to what Mother Earth is doing. She has for so many years, for centuries and centuries, been our guiding light and like our light post of truth and how we should act. And so when we saw that the harvest and the sowing of the seeds and the winters and summers and springs and falls of the food that nourished us, that gave us life, that sustained our life, we were in joyous times. This is when many, many exciting and happy celebrations occurred. And so the death in the winter and the resurrection in the spring have always been a part of human consciousness. And what Mother Earth has taught us in that is that we live in cycle. We live with an ebb and a flow of that which dies off and that which arises. Even a modern psychologist, Carl Jung, had something to say about this. He said that the archetypal process of the crucifixion and the resurrection is really this transpersonal symbolism for the collective unconscious. He says that, these stories of the pagan gods, of the crucifixion and the resurrection of them, because it was around far before Jesus was ever around, and then concluding with his story, really just goes to show that there is a inherent human nature to things, that it is the dying off of the old and the rising of the greater self. That is what this is representing. The dying of the lower levels of ourselves, however you want to understand that, and the rising up of our greater self. Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of the Science of Mind philosophy, which is what we study in the Centers for Spiritual Living, he once wrote this article called What We Believe. And in it, he says that we believe in the immortality and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. He says we believe in the individuality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. That means no matter what. That means no matter how hard life gets, that means no matter if it is a physical, biological death, that means if you've fallen down 10,000 times, that there is an immortal spirit within us that will always rise back up. We don't even need to worry about it. But we do. We wonder when we're in those times, in those soul-shaking, dark moments, those dark nights of our soul, we wonder, am I going to rise up from this? Am I really going to make it through? Am I ever going to let go of that false belief that I keep telling myself that I'm not good enough or worthy enough, or that I need to stay in this relationship that doesn't serve me any longer, or that I need to be treated this way or that way. No, no more. We do not need to worry. We need to surrender and die off to those old ideas, because the Spirit within us will always rise, rise, rise. I want to share with you, Stacy has so lovingly offered to play a song that I love by Andrea Day called Rise Up. And I just want to share with you a little bit of the lyrics in it. She says, "We'll rise up, we'll rise like the waves. We will rise up in spite of the ache. We will rise up and we will do it 1,000 times again." And I just want to invite Reverend Juanita to come up here and share a poem with us that is so powerful and so deeply relevant to our message this morning. Thank you, Reverend Juanita.
Thank you. I love being asked to read this poem. Every time I hear it, it means something special to me. It's one by Maya Angelou, Still I Rise. And the first time I heard this poem, I was a young woman, and the way she expressed herself, she had a sexiness and a sultriness about her, and her words and the way she spoke was so eloquent, and you could really get into the feel of the poem. And I'm going to do my best to emulate her, but she was very powerful. She had been involved with 5 presidents, and Oprah called her mother, sister, friend, and so she was very accomplished. She writes, "You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard? 'Cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide. Welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
Oh my goodness. That is what Easter is about. That is it. That is what makes this day so holy, that we remember to rise, that we rise above the old ideals, the old ideas that we've held about ourselves and about others, that we rise above the wreckage or the shame, that we rise into a new day, into a new light of the holiness and sanctity of our own being. It's time that we rise for love, and we rise for community, and we rise for equality, and we rise for compassion and for equity and for joy and for this community. Because when we rise up, when we stand together, when we hold hands, we can move mountains. Yes. So I'd like us to pray now. I'd like to invite us to pray. If you do that in your own way, I will be speaking my words out loud, and you can take them in as your own if you'd like. What I know right here and now is that the presence of the Holy Spirit that is life, that Spirit that is always hearing and seeing and feeling and thinking through us, is right here within us. It is what animates our life. It is what brings us up when we are down. It is this Spirit of the divine that is always pushing and pulling and prodding us forward to our greater and greater and greater good. Because that is what life was intended for. Because that is what this day, this holiness is about. It is about the immortality of the living Spirit, which is us, in action, in form, in humanity. And so let us move on with this day and this year, remembering that we don't even have to do anything, and the Spirit within us will rise. And so it is. So it is. Thank you, everyone. Happy Easter. Thank you. Thank you.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't fight the fighter, but I see it in you, so we can walk it out and move mountains. We can walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other, and we will rise, we will rise, oh, we'll rise, oh, we'll rise. And I'll rise up, rise like the day, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again. and we'll rise up. High like the waves, we'll rise up. In spite of the ache, we'll rise up. And we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you.
Stacy. Oh, wasn't that beautiful? I told you. And now it's that type of service where we like to invite you to give an offering, a blessing to this community for being spiritually fed and nourished so that we can keep this going, this spiritual community alive and well and thriving. And I want to invite you to place your hand over your heart with your offering. And I auto-tithe, so I'm going to place my hand over my heart. And we just place our hands over our heart in recognition of the circulation. The circulation that is always going on in life. The circulation of blood flow, the circulation of spiritual laws, the circulation of abundance and prosperity that is always going on in our life, that we give and we receive, and we give and we receive. And so I want to invite us to say our offering blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous. Thank you, God.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Let's sing that one more time while the choir is coming up. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Good morning. I'm Mary Ann Giblin, licensed practitioner here at the center. Feeling very joyful, renewed, refreshed. So I'd like to, first of all, invite you, if you have a prayer on your heart, to write it down and put it in the prayer box before 12:20. And we are also, the ministers and practitioners, could you stand so that everybody sees who's here and available to pray with you, doing what we call a 1-minute miracle along the wall by the windows until 12:20. And then the practitioners will take the prayers, and we'll all go back into the prayer room and pray on those prayers that you have requested. So right here, I invite you now to join me as I speak a word of affirmative prayer for you. And this is what I know. I know that there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is my life now. And so I know right here and right now that in this moment, every breath I breathe, every breath that is breathing within the sound of my voice is that divine expression of that one magnificent love, peace, light, and the thing that rises us. I claim right here and now for each and everyone within the sound of my voice that they are lifted up, that all that doubt, all that worry, all the small self, that which we may call ego, that which we may call struggle, those conditions that are no longer desired in any life are now released. And there is a renewing of the mind and the hearts and the emotions. I call forth each and every one rising in harmony, in harmonious relationships, rising in prosperity, rising in a higher and greater expression of who they are in business, in their family, and everywhere that good can express itself. I call forth that good, now risen, right here, right now, in this moment. That good has changed, that good has released, that good has renewed each and every person present. And so it is with a grateful heart that I give thanks, knowing these blessings are done, and even better. In full faith and conviction, I surrender my word to the creative field, that which only knows its own fulfillment. It simply says, yes, it is done. I let it go. I let it be. And I join me in saying, and so it is. Amen.
So it is.
A woman.
Bring in the kids. Up there. Hey. I want to hold one again. Hello? No hi? No hug? Jeez. Is that your better side? Come stand by me. Come over here. Yeah, come over here. You're so pretty too. Come stand by me. You're so pretty. What's up? So cool. Sorry.
Good morning.
There are 31 of us up here. Yes. So we're pretty excited about that. And we just have one thing we want to say to you at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy Easter! Pretty much we had an Easter party. So the rest of the month we're going to be celebrating our Earth, since Earth Day is the 22nd, I believe. And just a reminder to those that don't know is that we are going to stay throughout the song, this time through the peace song, and so you'll collect your children up here on stage. And that's it. Thank you to all my volunteers. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Wow. Okay, I want to invite everybody to stand and take a hand. Scoot down. And repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It's this thing called life. It's this thing called life. Life is in my body. Life is in my body. Life is in my mind. Life is in my mind. Life is in all that I do. Life is in all that I do. I give thanks for it. I give thanks for it. And I accept it. Just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Thank you, life.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, loved ones all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, 3 things I pray: to see Thee more clearly, love Thee more dearly, follow Thee more nearly, day by day, day by day, day by day. I pray, 3 things I pray: to see Thee more clearly, love Thee more dearly, to see Thee more clearly, love